Welcome to another Symbaroum tier list. This time I'm looking at the 24 mystical powers found within the Advanced Player's Guide. Mystical powers work much the same as before, although there are now several mystic professions which operate as prestige classes that have requirements for building into before you can unlock a specific special power. All mystical powers are classified under a given tradition, but profession powers won't be able to be picked up by a self taught mystic or anyone else outside of the profession. I'll go through each mystical power, starting with those offered by professions, before looking at the more standard options. Within each category, I'll go with the alphabetical order presented in the book and give each one a letter grade from D to S. At the end of the video, I'll post the specific order within each tier. I will be forgoing my ranking of each mystical tradition, because all the traditions and professions combined would just be a lot to evaluate. That's all for the intro. Let's get straight to the list. Our first profession ability is exercise, belonging to the demonologist. To become a demonologist, you'll first have to pick up Unholy Aura, Desecrating Rite, Sorcery, and either Witch Sight or Lore Master. By the way, to qualify for a profession, you not only have to pick up all the abilities mentioned, but you'll have to have leveled up one of them to master. Anyway, let's look at exercise. Not to be confused with the exorcism ritual, that was nice of the translators. Exercise will potentially send an enemy to the Yonder World and deal them some armor-piercing damage and temporary corruption. Neat. Adept level makes this a damage over time effect, and Master level makes this a reaction when you get attacked. Oh, by the way, if the effect fails and you open a rift to the Yonder World, a hostile abomination steps through. This is just too great a risk for not that much payoff. Game masters can put this spell on a villain so that no matter what happens, you have a situation that is more dangerous for the party. But as a player character pickup, I think this is D tier. Pyromancer requires Lore Master, either Brimstone Cascade or Flame Wall, plus Wizardry, and either Tale of Ashes or Flaming Servant. Fire Soul provides a retributive fire strike that harms enemies who attack you in melee and provides a passive armor buff against fire. Adept level increases these effects. Master makes fire heal you and broadens the retributive strike to affect ranged attacks as well. I like this power. It's evocative and useful, if not the most powerful. I think it's a B tier. Confessor requires either Leader or Medicus, either Holy Aura, Lay on Hands, or True Form, plus Exorcism and Theurgy. Many mystics can heal toughness, but the Life Giver grants the rare ability to heal temporary corruption. This is a single target at novice level, a group effect at adept level, and a passive reaction at master level. The master level comes with a caveat to stop this from being game breaking for the Life Giver themselves, but this is still more than a solid ability. A tier. To become an illusionist, you will need Lore Master, either Illusory Correction or Unnoticeable, either False Terrain or Illusion, and Wizardry. Mirroring projects an increasing number of illusory clones that can take hits for you. This is a neat trick that can save your life, but I don't think it has a lot of wow factor. B tier. Mentalist requires Lore Master, either Bend Will, Mind Throw, or Levitate, either Clairvoyance or Telepathic Interrogation, and Wizardry. Psychic Thrust is performed with a melee attack. Novice level grants you a second chance to succeed with the attack test. Adept level gives a chance that the attack automatically hits. Master level adds extra damage. I don't understand why this ability exists. You're taking on corruption for an added chance for a regular attack to hit. Master level adds some armor-piercing damage, but it's only 1d4 against one creature, and your attack still isn't guaranteed to hit. Is there some errata or translation error or some missing text that applies a complete second attack meant to land alongside your regular attack? Something is wrong here. Taken as written, this ability is an absolute bust. D tier. Inquisitor requires either Anathema or an Unnoticeable, plus Holy Smoke, Theurgy, and either Witch Sight or Backstab. Purgatory can incapacitate or deal damage to corrupted foes, increasing in efficacy each level. This will make you a major threat to abominations and sorcerers, but the effect is very conditional and still only lasts one turn or deals only 1d6 damage ignoring armor. It's okay, I guess. High C tier. Necromancer requires Medicus, Revenant Strike, Raise Undead, and Sorcery. Spirit Walk is a versatile power that offers utility, defense, and offense as you take on a temporary incorporeal form. Novice level gives you one movement action in this form that lets you walk through walls and enemies and avoid attacks. Adept level uses a reaction to avoid an attack, and Master level allows your weapon to phase through your opponent's armor for a single attack. There are some extra limitations, but overall, the ability is solid. I think this is a low A tier. I covered the staff mage in the advanced abilities video. They are a hybrid profession that employ their staves in special powers and in melee. To be a staff mage, you need to have lore master, any one mystical power, polearm master, and staff fighting. The staff mage can do a lot in combat, but staff projectile is its signature move. At novice level, you throw your staff and it deals 1d8 damage before coming back to you. Adept level increases the damage and ignores cover. Master level increases the damage again and establishes a chain that can hit up to 5 creatures. This is a decent attack ability, nothing special since it doesn't ignore armor or guarantee a hit, but the master level is still pretty cool. It's B tier. Demonologists get a whole second power that only they can use. Just like exercise, if things go poorly, you summon a demon that will probably attack you. So, what is the reward you gain for this risk? At novice level, teleport lets you instantly move 2 movement actions to a space you can see, ignoring all free attacks, but also taking 1d4 damage ignoring armor. Adept level gets rid of the damage and places a second test between you and the demon. Master level allows you to take someone else with you, willing or unwilling, but they will be hurt. Y'all probably knew where this was going, it's another D tier. The Green Weaver or Green Witch requires alchemy, entangling vines, quick growth, and witchcraft. At novice level, Thorn Cloak gives you a bonus 1d4 armor, increasing to 1d6 if you stand still. Adept level extends this armor to any allies who stand next to you. Master level adds a retribution effect that automatically deals 1d10 damage ignoring armor to enemies who strike you in melee. This is really good. A tier. The Spiritualist, or White Witch, requires Inherit Wound, Necromancy, Witchcraft, and Witch Sight. Necromancers can also use this power if you're taking the Sorcery route. Tormenting Spirits at Novice level is a powerful debuff on one enemy that gives them a second chance to fail all tests and shuts down any attempts at mystical powers, giving us a silence effect on enemy mystics. Adept level adds ongoing damage to the effect, and this damage hits resolute rather than toughness, meaning you're further debuffing mystics and possibly dealing with a high strong monster much easier by targeting their weaker resolute. Adept level also adds concentration, which is an interesting design. Master level is a simple damage increase. I like this one. The power is cool, the effect is unique, it scales well, and I like that it can be used by 2 very different specializations. This is A tier. The Blood Wader, or Red Witch, requires Natural Warrior, Medicus, Shapeshift, and Witchcraft. Wild Hunt allows you to summon an animal companion who you control in the combat scene. Each level offers a more powerful option of beast or a number of weaker beasts. Getting extra bodies on your side is always a very strong effect, even if the monster offered by this power isn't as great as the experience gaining summons offered by rituals like Familiar. Rolling up 4 or 6 weaker monsters could basically be an auto win button in most fights, although it's worth noting you could still roll a 1. Wild Hunt gets an A. Banishing Seal creates a chain that makes creatures run away from the scene. Adept and Master level add in some damage that ignores armor. Well, this is a weird one. A chain effect at novice level is pretty great, but this power only makes enemies run away from the fight, meaning they could easily come back around for another combat scene later. If they do stay, they take damage, so there is that. My gut says high C, my brain says low B, so I'll go with the latter, low B. Black Bolt applies a one-time armor-piercing damage and traps the target, taking away their actions until they can get freed, kind of like a mystical version of the Strangler ability. Adept level establishes a chain, and Master level makes it harder for multiple enemies to break free from the trap effect. This is really good, and it's nice that the Sorcerer has a strong attack option. Easy A tier. Black Breath is a curious little ability. Novice level asks you to roll a d4 against a creature's total corruption. If the roll is equal to or lower than the corruption, you heal them, and if higher, you give them temporary corruption. So this spell is made to heal bad things and harm good things, unless your d4 lands wrong. Adept level makes this a d6. Master level establishes a chain, but halts the chain once one creature is healed. I'm not a fan of this, though I'm sure it has its uses on evil character builds. D tier. Blinding Symbol establishes a chain that blinds your enemies. Blindness will hamper your enemy's ability to fight back and defend themselves, but it's not an outright stun and it only lasts one turn. Adept and Master prolong this effect. I am very underwhelmed by this one. I think it's a C tier. Combat Hymn gives you and your allies a +1 buff to a chosen attribute for as long as you can sing, which will usually mean the whole combat scene. Adept level applies the bonuses to all three attributes, meaning everyone will get +1 attack and defense. Master level adds a one-time group heal. I think this is really good, but not amazing. I'm feeling a high B tier. Dancing Weapon allows you to activate a new fighting mode that allows you to use your Resolute for attack and defense at the cost of using any other powers or abilities. Adept level gets rid of this restriction, and Master level makes it a free action to activate. I like this one. It's flavorful, it includes a powerful attribute swap, and it amounts to one free attack per round. A tier. Draining Glyph provides a chain of damage over time that ignores armor. Adept level drops concentration, and Master level adds an ongoing healing effect for yourself or one ally. This is really good. The healing effect isn't as strong as Holy Aura, which also damages enemies automatically, but that power only affects abominations and undead, while Draining Glyph can affect anything. Easy A. Heroic Hymn works like Combat Hymn, but while that power affects quick, strong, and accurate, this one affects cunning, resolute, and persuasive. At master level, instead of healing your party, you instead reduce everyone's temporary corruption, a rare effect to come by. Your party composition and situation will determine which hymn is a better choice for you, but I'm giving the edge to Heroic Hymn for being able to reduce corruption. B tier. Protective Runes gives you magical armor. Adept level adds retributive damage that ignores armor. Master level is an all around stat increase and gets rid of concentration. This is probably really good. Stacking armor in Symbaroum is an easy way to make yourself invincible. I just don't like having to actively maintain the effect with a resolute check each round. I think this is a B tier. Retribution at novice level applies a hex on an enemy that makes all attacks against them have a second chance to hit. Adept level adds on a totally different effect that applies damage back to an enemy when you are hurt yourself. Master level applies this link to multiple creatures. This is decently strong, but I can see a lot of characters just taking the novice debuff effect and ignoring the higher levels. B tier. Sphere allows you to animate a weapon into a defensive force field around yourself, putting up an impressive defense against melee and ranged attacks, but nothing against mystical powers. You also have to focus on maintaining the sphere, only movement actions are allowed. Master level allows you to include an ally in the sphere, and you can use more actions to assist them. I think this is a pretty good defensive ability if you're being swarmed by non magical enemies. Low B. Our last power is also our last troll singing hymn. Weakening Hymn is a debuff affecting all enemies that can hear you, though at novice level, it's only those enemies that have already been wounded. Adept level gets rid of this stipulation, as you give all enemies a second chance to fail all their tests. Master level adds a vicious mockery effect to the mix, dealing armor-piercing damage every time they fail a test because of your hymn. Yeah, this is great. Novice level will be tricky to get going, but Adept level shuts down the whole field of enemies, and Master level could kill them before they can even hurt you. All of this for a free action with concentration. This is definitely A tier. And that does it for another tier list. I was ready to place a mystical power in S tier this time around, but nothing really struck me as game changing. Instead, we have 4 disappointing spells in D tier. But that's not to say that the APG powers were disappointing. We have 9 strong choices in A tier and 9 more good options in B tier. Even the 2 leftover C tiers are useful. I think there was an overemphasis on mystical professions, and while they add some really nice flavor to the world, I'm not sure that all of them are worth statting your character into given the strength of some of their special powers. Maybe that will change when we get to the APG rituals in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a nat one day. Bye bye.